So this our next joint is going to be one of the easier ones called a bridge joint. It really relies on the fact that we have a fairly high quality printer that can make long passes and not droop the filament. Um, you'll have to be really careful when you make your choices for this one because if you go too long, you'll have some problems or you'll have to adjust the tolerances per se. But let's make a bridge joint. So I'm going to start off with starting a sketch on my front. I'm going to look at that front and I'm going to use the polygon tool. To make a triangle. And I'm going to dimension this thing from tip to toe. I don't like that tool, the triangle actually. I'm going to use our 3 lines. And I'm going to force one of these horizontal, this bottom horizontal. I'm going to then set them all equal to each other. Now we've got a triangle. The advantage is my center point can be the center of the body of the triangle. So dimension from the tip of the thing to the bottom. Let's go 2 inches. And let's see how it wants to move. Oh, and I'm dimension from here to be 1 inch. I'm now going to use the offset tool to make a second. I'm going to use the offset tool. I'm going to select the whole thing to build the second one, and I'll dimension the gap between them to be 0.125. That looks good. And this looks okay. I'll still have to play with the center point of my circle, but we'll need to extrude this. We'll extrude it 0.1. And now we're going to start another sketch on, that extrusion, I actually want to make that to be a symmetrical extrusion. So instead of blind, click symmetric. That's going to make it so our front plane is in the middle of the shape of this object. Let's start another sketch on the front. And it's going to be our circle. We're going to do a circle inside of here. And I'm going to dimension this circle offset from each of the 3 sides to make sure it's centered. I'm going to 0.07 or 0.05. I'm going to dimension from here to here to be also 0.05. And if I check this, and it's 0.05 also. So our circle is nicely symmetrical. This is a driven dimension, but it just proves that we're good. I'll use offset now to draw a second circle. And I'm going to set that to be 0.125. And I'll shift E for extrude. I'm going to pick symmetric again. 0.1. And now I'm going to connect these with a axle through the middle. And it's going to just bridge across the gap. So I'm going to start by putting a sketch on the surface. I'm going to draw a circle on the origin. I'm going to dimension this hole to be 0.075. And maybe a little smaller. Let's do 0.06. And we're going to take and remove. And we're going to go through to next. Or sorry, we're going to pick up to face, and we're going to pick this face here. And we're going to pick second end position. And that should, nope, up to face. We'll just have to run this twice, remove once. I'm going to then take and turn on the viewability of the sketch. And I'm going to extrude again. But we're going to go the other direction, say to face. Remove. Merge scope. This guy. So I removed a axle through the middle. There's probably better ways to do that. But now I'm going to start a sketch on the bottom of this guy. And I'm not going to tilt myself. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, actually, Control Z. I'm going to draw my circle using the origin again. And I'm going to dimension it from this circle to this circle. We're going to do 0.01. And we're going to extrude. We're going to say 2 next. So now our printer should be able to run that gap. We might have a little bit of cleanup to do, but now this will stay on there. We could also make some guides or make some revolve so this doesn't flop up and down. But generally, we now have a sort of deathly hollow symbol, and this circle should spin about the axle. But this bridge is a little precarious. We'll make some guess and check to get this dimension just so it doesn't bind, or you might use pliers to pull out a couple of droop strands.